Morning, dear devotees and friends. Today is the first Saturday of the month, and as per our routine, we will be discussing the Astavakra Samhita that is arranged by the Hindu Temple of Greater Chicago, Lemont. Because the COVID situation continuing, so we can't go to the temple and in person give the talk, so we'll be continuing this. So let us begin the Astavakra with this verse. Atma Shakshi Vibhu Purna Eka Mukta Chidakriyaha Asango Nispriha Shanto Brahmat Samsara Baniba. Atma Shakshi, self is the witness. Vibhu, all pervading. Purna, perfect. Eka, one without a second. Mukta, free. Chit, consciousness. Akriya, unattached. Asango, desireless. And Nispriya, quiet. Through illusion, it appears as if it is of the world. So this is what we are studying. And in our last class, we have discussed the joy of freedom in chapter 8, verse 30. We read, na udvignam, na cha santushtam, akotri spandavarjitam, nirasham gata sandeham, chittam muktasya rajate. This is the beautiful way. The Vedanta has three different groups: Advaita Vedanta, Vishishta Advaita Vedanta and Dvaita Vedanta. All these three groups, they all depend on the Veda and they describe the teachings of the Veda, the truth that has been revealed in the Veda. But when they are describing the exponents, so they are giving us a philosophy, a beautiful outlook. And this here we are studying Advaita Vedanta. There is no duality, so it is one. So you know this. Here na udvignam, na cha santushtam. So when one is having the realization of the Brahman, the one, the all-pervading consciousness, then what happens to him? The mind is completely liberated and there is no trouble because it's free from hatred. Nacha udvignam, when we become udvigna, when we become trouble, and when we think that what is going to happen when there is a trouble, when there is a problem. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Now, unfortunately, the President of America, he has been recognized as the COVID positive. Immediately, everywhere, it is in the newspaper, the share market, it has come down. 2%, 5%, something. I don't know much of it. But why fear? Why the fear? Is the top man of the country, America, he is not there. What will happen? Whether the business will continue, progress, fear. So this fear makes us troubled. Those people who have given so much of money into that, they are thinking whether we are going to get back the money or what is going to happen with the udvigna. And in our daily life also, some ordinary, there is so much of udvigna that we become very much concerned about some of the problem. But a man of realization is not having anything. Why? Because for him, whatever is happening is nothing but temporary. And temporary in the sense, like a person showing the magic, like that. The people who are watching the magic, they are carried out by that. They are worried and they are all sometimes happy. But the person who is showing it, completely indifferent. Why? Because he knows just this is a play that I am showing. It is nothing, not real actually. Similarly, a man of realization means the man of the realization of the Brahman, the Self, the Atman. For him it is only one and nothing two. So why he will be worried? No question of the worry. Now udviknam, again, not just santushtam. He is not pleased also. Why? The same reason. Because he don't have the attachment. And akotri spandavarjitam is the actionless, because there is no ego. Akotri. Unless and until there is an ego, you cannot work. So that is the I am working, I am doing. If that is not there, how can you work? So akotritam spandavarjitam, motionless. Why the motionless means? This explaining that is a motionless. That means no activity actually. The mind is completely the same. We all know, the students of Vedanta, we all know the activity comes when there is a changes in the gunas. These terminologies we always say again and again so that we remember it. What are the gunas? Qualities. Sattva, Raja and Tama. To be a student of the Vedanta, these terminologies are very, very important, and we must have to remember these Sanskrit terms. The gunas means Sattva, Raja and Tama, these qualities. The good, the middle and the bad. When they are in equilibrium, no activity. A man of realization in his mind, it is equilibrium. No activity, so motionless. And spandavarjitam, nirasham gata sandeha. And gata sandeha is not having any doubt about it. Chittam muktasya rajate. It's completely free. He is in a supreme state, completely free. This freedom from what? We have already discussed that in our last the class, in the last month. Friends, we are following the path of knowledge. It does not depend on any action. It is like removing the heavy curtain and the light of the sun just come in. Just removing the curtain and outside the bright sun light coming inside the room. I am basking in that wonderful sunlight. What did I do? Only I removed the ignorance that was hanging before me as a curtain, heavy curtain, and made the room dark. Didn't allow the sunlight to come inside the room. I just removed the ignorance, that much, and no other action. So that is, it says like this. This is famous as Vichara Marga. Vichara means the Vichara, discrimination, analyzing. So what is we are doing? Because the analysis is only very simple, whether it is permanent or temporary. And when we do this analysis, we find everything is temporary. And it starts from me. I am thinking, I am this body, I am this mind, and I belong to this place, I belong to this religion. Also many attachments. But in reality, there is no I. Because it is changing. A few years before it was not there. A few years after it won't be there. So this is the temporary. Then I look around, everything is changing. Whole things are changing, including all those things. The sun, which even the sun and the moon, which even the Sri Ramachandra has seen, Sri Krishna has seen, Shankaracharya has seen, so many thousands of years it is there, but still it won't be there after some time. So that is also temporary, and everything is temporary. This is the way it goes. The bichara analyzing. There must be something which is permanent. And then they came into that truth, which is that they gave the name Brahman. Bringhati iti Brahmana. The vast, all-pervading, everywhere. So they gave the Sanskrit name Brahman. Bringhati iti Brahmana. Everywhere that Brahman. Now when one realizes that Brahman, what happens? He becomes Brahman itself. He becomes vast. He becomes all-pervading. So naturally, all other small things, the waves that comes into our mind, there is nothing. So that exactly the freedom of the soul. The freedom from what? We will come to that. And it says that beautifully, the 18th chapter, the 39th verse, it says, Na shantim labhati moodo, yata shamitum icchati, dhiras tattvam vinischitya, sarvada shantamanasaha. The two words they have used, the Astavakra Muni, one is moodo, another is dhira. In Sanskrit, they cannot go down to abuse a person below the word mooda. The Sanskrit is a Devo Bhasha, so naturally they can't abuse a person less than this word, mooda. Mooda means a person who is deluded, not having the consciousness of the changes having all around. That is called mooda. Na shantim labhati mooda. A fool is trying to control the mind, but he doesn't get the peace. Labhati mooda yata shamitum ichchati. Shamitum, to become calm. So what he does? He is withdrawing the mind from the sense objects and then slowly trying to become happy. The Vedanta, from this point of view, they are addressing them also as a mooda. Think of it. So this is a very high standard, the teaching of the spirituality. When you think about God and me, I go and offer some fruits to God, sweets to God, and pray to God. That is one condition. And then slowly it goes up, and then it thinks that I am withdrawing the mind and becoming one with God. That try also here, they denounce. Why? Because you are already there. Only just think. So this ultimate Vedanta teaches only to be conscious, aware, all the moment, every moment. About what? About the Chaitanya Sarupa, about the real self of the consciousness of the Brahman. So na shantim labhate mooda. From that point of view, meditation is very good. But when they reach to that point, they say, why unnecessarily wasting your time? You are that. Just think of it and come out of that. Na shantim labhate mooda yata shamitum ichchati. Sometimes the mental diseases, the lunatics, the mad people, they go into some thought, some kind of thought, and they will be going on, brooding on that particular thought, and they imagine the people are coming to torture, and you can see the behavior. If you go and tell, hey, what you are doing, go away. Can't you see that they are coming to beat me? Call foolish. And he'll be shouting, trying to hide, trying to defend. But all around people, they look at him and say, oh my God, nothing but he is behaving like that. So that condition, a person who is completely deluded, he is thinking this world is permanent. So he is growing up in that family or in that environment that he is getting the training how to acquire the money and the prestige and all these. So he just grew. Majority of us, we are growing into that situation. That we get that training only. That this is the world and you have to be the first, you have to be the one in the society, you have to earn a lot of money and then you will get the comfort. It goes on in this way. But the man of realization, when he looks at those people and say, Muda, deluded people, they don't know nothing is going to be permanent. They are going to die someday. And everything that they have acquired in the good or bad means and going to be left over there. He can't take it. But what he will take with him is the impression, the bad impressions, the bad karma phala. So be free from that. That is the training, that is the teaching the Astavakra is giving. Very high standard. Here it says, truth cannot be achieved by any action. It is already and always there. I am the Supreme Self, Paramatma, and it is always calm because not affected by any gunas. So, na shantim labate muda yata shamitum icchati dhirastattam binishchitta. But the dhira, that means the wise person who has understood this, what happened to him? He knowing that, be nishchitta. He is confirmed. There is no doubt. So what happened? Sarvada Shantamanasaha. He is always very happy. This is called freedom. Shanta Manasaha is tranquil mind, happy mind, whatever may be the situation, his mind is always happy. So that is called the Shanta Manasa is the freedom. Swami Vivekananda said, freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is the condition of the song of the self. The one he said, the freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is the condition of growth. And another he said, freedom is the song of the soul. They hear the song of the soul. What is the song? The beautiful melody that I am Brahman, I am Atman. That goes on. So no bondage. And when there is no bondage, no anxiety. When there is no bondage, no desire, no problem at all. The mind is completely free. So it says, Dhiras tattam binishchitta sarvada shantamanasaha. Astavakra Samhita is meant for very high standard Vedanta students. After successfully practicing sadhana, the spiritual sadhana, and that is called sadhana chatushtaya. In the Vedanta, if you read, the first they will say, you have to practice, I like to practice the Vedanta sadhana. If you go to a teacher, he will say, you have to go through 4 different types of practices, spiritual practices. And it says, sadhana means practices, chatushtaya means 4. 4 different practices, that much. What are the 4? They say viveka, discernment, the analysis, this first. Then vairagya, then dispassion. Why? The moment I am understanding that these things are all bad and going to bound me unnecessarily, so I become dispassionate, detached from that, vairagya. So viveka and vairagya goes hand in hand, side by side. I am analyzing and this is the bad, so I am not going to take that. So vairagya. So viveka vairagya. Then says Shata Sampatti. Shata Sampatti means the 6 treasures. That's the spiritual treasures. Shata Sampatti. And Mumukshuta, the longing for the liberations when one's mind become pure. So this is the way, the 4 things that we practice. About the Shata Sampatti, let me give a small, the quick update about the Sampattis. What are the treasures? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to go on the terrace of the Kuti Badi, and then he used to call to the generation, future generation, oh, ye come, I like to give you all the treasures that I have got to you. What Sri Ramakrishna treasure, having the treasure? Nothing. He was an ordinary, very poor Brahmin. What treasure you were talking about? This Shata Sampatti. The 6 different treasures, and that is called Shama, the control of the mind. Then Dhamma, the control of the senses. Uparati, withdrawal of the mind from the objects. Titiksha, endurance. So many different type of problem comes, and that is to be endured. And the titiksha, and in the Viveka Chudamani, the beautiful definition they are given, I am not entering into that, it will take time. The titiksha, the endurance, when a person starting a spiritual life, the people, they will go on criticizing. Hey, look at this fool. He is going to the temple and he is meditating, he is reading holy book, he is not going to the movies, he is not making the fun, so many things are going on. He is a fool wasting his time. And some people, oh, you're wasting your youth. What is that youth? So this goes on in this way. And that is called titiksha. The person has to be always very sincere. Let people say whatever they think, but I will continue. This is the first thing. Second, there will be the indifference. So I am going to the temple, I am meditating, people ignoring me completely. That is also very troublesome when you are in the society. If people around you are not paying any heed to you, what will happen to you? So naturally that is another endurance. And the finally third step, acceptance, that is more dangerous. And they will calm those people, those who were criticizing, ignoring, and they will accept you as a holy person. They will come, they will touch your feet, they will give you the gift, they will praise you, and they will ask you for the blessings all the time. So at that time, the person, this is a very challenging moment. He thinks, well, I have the power. If I touch the head of the person, he will get blessed like this and that. Ego comes. So to eradicate the ego, the whole process began to eradicate the ego, the false ego, the I sense. And then ultimately when you are completing that, again, through these the ego will enter. So one should endure. That is called titiksha. Sahana sarva dukkhyanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilapa rohitam sa titiksha nigaddate. In the Vivek Chudamani, those who are interested, you can go through that. And then Shraddha, one-pointed devotion, complete faith, Shraddha. Swami Vivekananda used to say again and again, the Shraddha is the first thing, confidence in oneself. I am going to realize God in this very life. And if they go on telling, do you think I'll be able to realize God? Do you think it is possible for ordinary person like us? They won't be able to do. It is not ego. It's a self-confidence. I am going to realize God. If Buddha could, if Jesus could, if Shankaracharya could, I can also. So it is not ego but the self-confidence. So that is called Shraddha. And Samadhana, the concentration of the mind. Concentration means, Samadhana means conclusion. And there is no other point, there is no other thing to thought of, concluded. No, this is, I have taken the decision and this should be done. That's all. The mind is calm. There is no other, the pros and cons and these and that, nothing like that. Straight. So it's called samadhana, concentration of the mind. So friends, these are the practices before starting the life or the journey, we can say, before starting the journey in the path of knowledge. So these four things, viveka, vichara, viveka means vichara, then vairagya, sadasampatti, mumukshuta. In one word, mind should be free from any desire. Nirvasanam harim drishtva tushnim vishayadantinaha. In the 46th verse of the 18th chapter, it says, Nirvasanam harim drishtva tushnim vishayadantanaha. When they give an example, when even the tusker, the big elephant, he sees a very powerful lion standing before, so he will change the course. It will go somewhere else. Won't try to fight with the lion. It's like that. When a mind is free from all desire, then the Maya, with all its delusions, cannot do anything. It goes away, avoiding that person within whose mind there is no desire. Nirvasanam harim drishtva. Harim means here the lion. Tushnim vishayadantinaha. Vishaya, the objects, the Maya. And here the dantinaha means the elephant, the tuskers. So they go away, as the powerful elephant also go away without fighting, to avoid the fight with that powerful lion standing before. So similarly, if one's mind is free from desire, nothing can bind him. So this is, they say, the Maya melts away. How to know whose mind has become free from desire? Then the Astavakra says, in 48th verse it says, Vastu sravana matrena shuddha buddhi nirakulaha nava acharam anacharam audasyam va prapashyati. Vastu sravana matrena. Those who have gone again and again, I always quote Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Why? He is the living embodiment of all the teachings, of all the scriptures of the Hindus and other religions also. I know about the Hindus, so I am telling about the Hindu scripture. This Hindu scripture, wherever, whatever they have described, you can find that practiced in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So I always suggest, please go through the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. This is a unique book. Vastu sravana matrena, just by hearing the word Brahman, Atman, Bhagavan, Ishvara, Vastu sravana, immediately Shuddha buddhi nirakulaha. It goes the moment the purified mind, Shuddha buddhi. The mind is pure. How it is pure? Purity, impurity. What is the difference? Again and again, I say that impurity is nothing but these worldly things. So, except the worldly things, whatever remains are pure. Except the worldly things, the phenomena, the manifested world, what remains? Consciousness, Atman, Chaitanya, Brahman, that is pure. So if the mind goes to that Atman, it is pure. Goes to the world, impure. The Shuddha Buddhi, the intellect is completely pure, means it has gone to the Atman. And when constantly thinking of God, constantly thinking of the Atman, and that condition, the moment the word come, immediately mind goes to that. And that is called the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It goes to that, Nirakulaha. And there, no achara. The truth in a flash for him conduct, bad, good or bad, doesn't matter. Nava acharam, anacharam. Good conduct. I go and tell the truth and then go to the temple and I fast and all this good. Anachara are just opposite to those things. But for the man of knowledge, nothing affects. Because he is beyond all that. His mind is constantly leading to that, living on that condition. And this has been demonstrated in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. When he saw one of his disciples, Raja Maharaj, is taking the name of God and his lips are just moving. Moment he saw the moving lips and half closed eyes of the Raja Maharaj, that young boy, immediately Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. So that is in a flash, because he is always there. Somehow he came down to this our level, but the moment that was suggested, when he saw a young little boy is standing in the position of the Sri Krishna, Tribhanga Murari, in the three different places of the body, it is curved as in the Krishna's image we see. It was a European boy standing under a tree on the Calcutta, the Eden Garden. But Sri Ramakrishna saw that boy, immediately his mind went in and merged into the thought of Sri Krishna. And he became unconscious, as if, because into Samadhi. So this unconsciousness or into Samadhi in a flash. So that is he went to see that lion, and the moment he saw the lion, he thought about the Mother Durga. So many times it happened when he was very young boy, hardly 6 or 8 years old. So he was walking, in the villages when they have cultivated the rice and the green, the plants are coming up, the vast field, at the end, on the horizon, there's some black clouds. Suddenly this young Gadadhar saw the white crane they are flying over there. The background, the beautiful background of the black clouds, rainy clouds, and the green and the white crane, immediately the boy's mind went into the beauty of God. And that is called Vastu Matras Stravanina. Vastu Stravana Matrena. Shuddha Buddhi Nirakula. So when you read in the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, if you have read the Astavakra at the 18th chapter, 48th verse, immediately we can tell, yes, this must be like this. Otherwise, it is very difficult to understand. So Sri Ramakrishna is the living demonstration of this. A realized soul is completely free. He enjoys freedom in every moment of life. Friends, today I told that we should discuss on the freedom. The freedom in America particularly, and also in France and European countries, and nowadays slowly the Asian countries are also freedom, the social freedom, and in every step there should be the freedom. You cannot control what type of books I should read, what type of dresses I should wear, what type of food I should eat, and what type of the marriage relation I am going to make. You are not supposed to. What religion I am going to practice. The state, the king should not control that. That is called the freedom. And that is this type of, the movements are coming. So many people, they die for this movement and they get this freedom. In America, we can enjoy that freedom. In different places it is there. So here this freedom is not these worldly freedoms, or the political, or the economical, or the social, no. This is the freedom of the soul. And what is the freedom of the soul? free from desire. The freedom of the soul means free from desire. Desire to realize God is not desire. But desire to enjoy an object of this world is a desire. And that binds. So when a man is that, what happens? Satantrat sukham apnoti, satantrat labhate param, swatantrat nivritam gacchit, swatantrat paramam padam. In the 50th verse of the 18th chapter, the beautifully is singing, the satantrat sukham apnoti. Freedom is the cause of happiness. There is no desire. I am free from all desire. Whatever is coming or going, it's not affecting me. A great freedom. It's the great freedom. So this is sometimes the people of the status in the society, they're so much concerned about the dress they are wearing, because if they go out to the society, whether that is the perfect dress or not. But for a monk, is nothing. He goes in whatever he is wearing. Whether he is wearing the shoe or not, nothing happens. As because we are in the Ramakrishna mission, we are the Swami Vivekananda said, you must behave properly in the society as per the society's rule. So properly dress and properly talk, behave, everything. But when the wandering monk, or suppose you are just practicing austerity somewhere, you don't care about the dress. You don't care about shaving and all this, because you are not mixing in the society. But when we are in the society, we should have to follow that, just that much. So here it says, the freedom, sukham apnoti, freedom is the cause of happiness, because no desire. And satantrat labhate param, freedom helps to realize the highest truth. Labhate param, param means the highest. Swatantrat nirvitam gacchit, and tranquility comes all the time. Because the mind is not agitated by the sattva raja tama guna. Swatantrat paramam padam, and the supreme goal, paramam padam. What is that supreme goal? The Brahman. Because of the freedom. What is that freedom? I am telling again and again, so that it goes into the mind. The freedom from desires. When all the desires are free, those who have read the biography of Ma Sharadamani Devi or her conversation, and that lady, uneducated, so-called uneducated, and when someone asked her, Mother, how to realize God? By doing japa, by doing meditation, and these, that, Mother told, of course, through that. But if you are free from desire, this moment you will realize God. If you are free from desire, there are so many desires are there in the mind. It's in Sanskrit, it's called Eshana. Putra Ishana, Vitta Ishana, and there are so many Ishanas. Desire, desire, desire. So that is, a few days back I was giving a talk in Bengali, addressing particularly the northeastern region where I was there for a long time. Those devotees contacted me, and then some Zoom or something like that. The topic was Bhalo Theko, be happy. And on that we discussed how to be happy if we are free from desire. Not that we should not do our swadharma. As a householder, we have a responsibility, duty. So I should try my best to do that. As a monk, I should do that. As an administrator, one should do that. All that, but within ourselves, in the mind, as less possible desire, desire, desire. Go away, go away. So when you are free, when one realizes that he or she is not the doer, or not the enjoyer, akotritam or bhoktritam. Kotrita, kotri means the doer, I am doing. And bhoktri, I am enjoying. I, that it is there. When we understand that, you become free from the desire. How to be free from the desire? I am doing and I am enjoying. That much. Not that we should not do any work. We must do intensely for the betterment of others, for the happiness of others. And that we should do. But at the same time, I am doing? No. I am blessed that God is doing it through me. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was anxious that he is going to kill. And in the 11th chapter, the Lord, the God, the Sri Krishna, he showed him that everything has already been done. Only you become nimitta. You are just doing it for me, and then you will become praised by the world. That's all. Everything is done. God has chosen me only to do that, perform that. That I should be grateful. I am grateful that God has chosen me to do this. So that is called akotrittam. And naturally abhoktrittam. So I should not enjoy, because whatever has come, according to my capacity I have performed, then it is up to God. How this condition, no doer and not enjoyer condition, affect the behavior of the people? From verse 52 to 59, our Astavakra Muni has described that. In the last 59 verse, let me quote, Sukham maste sukham shete sukham ayati yati cha sukham bhakti sukham bhunkte vyavahare api shantadi. Sukham, 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 joy, 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 happiness, 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 because of the freedom. There's no desire. So that's why he is sukha. What happens to him? How? As because I am not having any desire, am I going to die? Just opposite. You are going to enjoy. Sukham aste, sukham sete. It says a free person is happy when sitting, aste, sleeping, shvete, coming or going, ayati yati cha. That means moving. Sukham bhakti, when he is speaking, and also bhunkte, eating, always happy. And that's why in the Vedanta, in the Veda we can say, it says, Amritasya putraha. You are the children of immortal bliss. They address the whole human being as the Amritasya putraha. From this realization, it is only joy, it is only happiness, it is only freedom. And you have to remember this, that's all, and nothing else, no activity. I am free from all desire. Whatever comes, I do, I perform, and I am detached from this. And that is what, now as they say, do it and wash your hand. And nowadays, all the time, they're advising, wash your hand and put on the mask. So the washing hand, we have a lot of practices to nowadays. So no problem. That washing hand means not getting attached to the result of this. Inwara Brahman remains always in bliss. Anandam sarvam anandam, everywhere. To achieve this condition is really, really difficult. Only a rare few can have this. That's why the Astavakra Muni is telling in the 65th verse, Sa eva dhanna atmagya sarva bhaveshu ya samaha pashyan srinnan sprishan jigran ashnan nistarsha manashaha. Nistarsha manashaha. Blessed indeed is that knower of the self who has transcended the mind, transcended from all these worldly things, can remain same in all situation. Though seeing, hearing, touching, smelling or eating remain unaffected, unattached every moment. So this is a very clear way. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna asking the same thing. How a realized soul behave. It is not that after the realization of the God, he will go away and die. Not like that. You just remain in the society and try to help the society, try to develop love and sympathy and brotherhood among the people, but completely unattached. And completely people do not understand. They may have the mistake. They think that, oh, this person, he is commending in this way, he is doing this, he did that. No, but a true sannyasi, and that is what Swami Vivekananda said, that after realization of the Brahman, if you are not giving back to the society, then what for you are there? And again in different scripture they say, no, it's just like you are very selfish. You are realizing God and then you are going away. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that two brothers, the mother gave them some mangoes. One brother entered into the room, finished all the mangoes, washed the hand and mouth, and then came out and met the friends. Because if he come out with those mangoes, you have to share with the friends. He was very selfish. But the other brother, he came out with his share and then gave it to all the friends and enjoyed sitting all. That is a monk must be like that. He should go on giving the advices, guidances, that this is the best way to get the joy. Please do it, please do it. Majority of the time people never pay any heed to him, rather insult him, criticize him. Must be having some idea, otherwise why he is behaving like that, why he is telling like this. But go on criticizing. Everyone was criticized. But you know that you are not attached to this. That's why he says it is very, very rare. And it says because he remains aware about the transitory nature of everything except the Brahman. Brahma bhutam idam sarvam. Brahma bhutam idam sarvam. Everything is the Brahma. It's like a miracle. It's like the magic. Everything. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, I have quoted it in many places, that if I knew this world is permanent, I would have covered the whole Kamarpukur, the birthplace of Sri Ramakrishna, with gold. If I knew this world permanent. So that is the teaching. That is the way one should think. And that is called the Jnana Marga. To the man of realization, there is no difference between heaven and hell. They always talk about this. Once I attended the religious meet, interreligious meet, and the topic was what the Hindus think about the hell. So jokingly I told, we don't have heaven or hell. It's everything same. That they were, because they are from different other background, religious background, they could not understand this. And of course I just gave in a few words, so this is the highest condition of the mind. Then I understood that it's better to speak according to the same. So yes, in Hinduism also the conception of hell is there, in the Puranas it is there, etc., etc. To make people afraid, the people, the moment they get the opportunity, why previously the Vedanta was not taught to the ordinary people, because they will misunderstand. Oh, I am the Brahman, I am free, anything I can do, and they will go on doing the wrong things. It may be. Now slowly, education came, the science developed, people's conception also developed, understanding became very sharp. Then Swami Vivekananda said, well, now all these hundreds and thousands of years, all the treasures of Vedanta that was hidden in the jungle, I will bring it to the door of everyone. Boner Vedanta Ghare Ene Deva. From the hidden place, hidden in the jungle, where rishis used to live in the jungle. So that knowledge, and what is that knowledge? You are free, always free. Only by mistake you are thinking that you are bound. the first verse that we chant every time. So that is, so it says, Na swarga naiva narako, jivan mukti na chaiva hi, bahu matra ki muktena yoga drishta na kanchana. In the verse 80, no heaven, no hell, not also the liberation in life. Jivan mukti sukha prapti, Shankaracharya said. But here he says, even that is nothing. What you are going to do with that? What Jivan Mukti? Nothing is there except the Brahman. So different gradation, that again and again I am telling, everything is truth. From lower truth to higher truth, as Swamiji said, Swami Vivekananda. We travel from lower truth to higher truth. Nothing is wrong, nothing is the mistake. Is that lower truth to the higher truth? What is the higher truth? Is this. Naiva swarga, naiva narako, jivan mukti na chaiva hi, bahumatra kimuktena yoga drishta na kinchana. The knower of Brahman sees only the self and not many. So that is the way it goes. A free person is blessed. To him, a stone and the gold are the same. He is blessed. Why? Because no tension. If the gold is there or money is there, immediately we think, oh, what I am going to do with this? As I was thinking, if I could get some money, I could send it to some of our centers in Asia and also in Africa and the South America. Now in the pandemic time, the devotees are not visiting the ashrama and there is no money in that way. Even the monks, they don't have much money for their maintenance. And the sadhu seva, Thakur seva, they say. And for the worship also, we need every day, we have to purchase fruits to offer to God, etc. So the trouble is there. I was thinking if I could collect some fund. So the moment you are thinking, but in the highest condition, nothing should be there. If completely free, nirmama shobhate dhira, sama loshtra ashmakanchana. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was practicing his austerity, he himself mentioned it to his disciples. The one day he was throwing some coins he was having. So he was throwing the coins and also some earth. And he was telling, taka mati, mati taka. This earth, it's nothing everywhere. And the money, the people are saving, people are keeping in a very cautious way, but they're both same. So he was throwing the both, the money and also the stone and the earth, like that. A free person is blessed because she is free even in deep sleep, in dream state, in waking state. Every moment is free. Freedom, freedom, freedom. In deep sleep, susupti, and in the dream state, and also in the awaking state. There are three, all the students of Vedanta, you know that there are three stages are there in our human life. One is waking state, that is now, where the body, mind and the consciousness, they are all clubbed together, they are working, the waking stage. In the dream stage, body is not active. Only the other two, the mind and the consciousness working. And the third, Sushupti, where even the mind is absent because it is not dreaming, in the deep sleep, but the consciousness remains over there. That is the way the Vedantin they prove there is consciousness. The Avastha Traya Vichara, they say, Avastha condition, Traya, three, Vichara, that is the analysis. The Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti. In these three conditions, a man of knowledge, a person who has realized Brahman, is free. Nothing is happening. He doesn't see any dream because only that consciousness is there every time. Susuptopi na susupto, cha sapnopi shaito na cha, jagareopi na jagrati, dhira stripta pade pade. Beautifully it describes Sushuptopi na susupto, cha sapnopi shaito na cha, jagareopi na jagarti. When he is in the deep sleep, in the susupti, the dreamless sleep, he is not in that condition. Why? He is always that Atman. In that condition also, very much aware. Then Shapnopi Shaita. And when he is seeing the dream, there also he is not sleeping. He is completely aware. No dream in his mind, aware. I am that Brahman. Jagareyopi na jagarti. And when he is awake, he knows that I am only that consciousness. Putting on it, as we put on the dress, the Atman has put on a body and has taken a name. That's all and nothing else. But I am the Atman. Friends, can you think about it? That is called Vedanta. And that is called the highest Vedanta. Kevala Advaita. Their only consciousness, every moment, every time. It's not a matter of joke. Oh, I am a student of Vedanta. Not like that. You have to be so deep into it. An unthinkable condition. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharadamani Devi, he married and the mother came to stay with him in the Dakshinesha. Sri Ramakrishna told her it's okay. And those who know the Dakshinesha in the same room, both of them, they were lying, mother was sleeping, Sri Ramakrishna was in meditation whole night, every night. But the very young girl, only 18 years, the mother, she couldn't sleep, she was so much afraid. And all through that we can imagine the light is emerging from that body, meditative body of Sri Ramakrishna, always awake. People thought that he is sleeping. He has gone to bed. But he is always awake, the Atman, the Brahman. Afterwards, when the disciples, young people, they started coming and accepting Sri Ramakrishna as their guru, they used to stay in the same room on the floor. And then they also noticed, always awake, in the daytime and in the sleep also, just lying down as if sleeping, but always conscious. Friends, as I was telling, all the scripture, whatever they say, everything you can see that demonstrated in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, Avatara Bharishtaya is the greatest of all the avatars. We have not seen this uniqueness. Don't think as because I am a follower of Sri Ramakrishna, I am just exaggerating. It's the truth. It's the recorded truth. So those who are studying the scripture, if we like to see, if anybody had this type of thing, the Janaka and others, they are far, far. We do not know whether it is historical figure or not. Doubts are there. But what about Sri Ramakrishna? In 1836 he was born and then passed away in 1886. That 50 years, he was there. He practiced, he propagated, he showed it before us. So all the scriptures are true because we see these manifested in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Let us conclude this 18th chapter. It is 100 verses are there. So today we have studied from the 39 to 100. Na dhavati jana kirnam, na aranyam upashanta dhihi, yatha tatha yatra tatra, sava eva avatishthate. Na dhavati jana kirnam, na aranyam upashanta dhihi. Very simple Sanskrit. The Jana Krishnam, when the crowded place, the people, most of the religious people, they like to avoid the crowded place. And it is advisable also. But those who have realized, for them it is nothing. Wherever they go, that is the calm and composed thing. The Jana Kirna. And also, in the wilderness, that I will go and sit and then find in the wilderness nothing. Why? The external world, external phenomena, external nature is not doing anything on his mind. His mind is completely free and completely aware that I am that Brahman, I am that consciousness. So, na dhabati jana kirnam, na arannam upashantadi, yatha tatha yatra tatra, sab eva apatishtati. Wherever he remains, yatha tatha, wherever, yatra tatra, here and there, yatra tatra, anywhere, sab eva apatishtati, he is always established in the self. So that is the joy of the freedom. To conclude, we can say the 18th chapter is very unique, and it talks about the freedom and the freedom of desire. Now, if we slowly minimize our desire, then we'll understand. The many of the people nowadays, they are telling, we were not knowing that with so small thing, little thing, we could survive. And we are surviving. That is called minimizing the desires. Slowly, unnecessarily increasing the desires and making things complicated and ultimately suffering. Who is suffering? I am suffering. I made the thing complicated. So why? So that is why it says that one should be very, very careful. And we learn this from the Astavakra Muni. Before conclusion, is there any question?
So the first question is from Tuhin Kana. Is my love for God a desire?
No, Tuhin. The love for God is not desire. That is, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself has explained that this is not desire. This is a very good thing that we are asking. And this is actually, you know what? The God realization, desire for the God realization is like going back to my own self. I like to know myself, that's all. It is not a desire.
The next question is from Srimati Shengupta. Is there a part within us which says you're not being productive, or you better earn a living while you're alive and healthy? How do we negate them as they sound very logically correct?
Oh no, who said? See, this is the different condition of the mind. As long as you are thinking that you have to earn, of course you should do. Why should you be a burden on the society? You must educate yourself, you must earn with that. But afterwards, you must also think, if you have the time, that is this the permanent thing that I am going to get? Then the answer you will get no. Then the journey towards the self will begin. And in the journey, slowly, when one becomes free from desire, the ultimate thing that remains is freedom. That is exactly what we are discussing. It's the different stages. The children, they will never understand it. And some people who have the responsibility, the feeling of responsibility and feeling of duty, they won't understand it. But those who understand these after their life's experience, they will say, yes, this is worth taking up.
The next question is from Anandita Chakraborty. How do we try to excel in our Swadharma or exhaust ourselves in our efforts if we do not have the desire to achieve some particular goal?
What is the name you said?
Anandita,
the beautiful question, the very good question. That in our life there's a 4 parts. They have always that our rishis they gave, particularly the Hindus, the Sanatana, the brahmacharya, garastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. So when you are the brahmachari, then the grihi, then vanaprasthi, you have to follow the sadharma. You must practice and you must perform whatever is responsibility given to you, accepted by you. That we should do. Then a time will come when it's called sannyasa, samyak nyasa, giving up everything. So that is the time you are thinking, no, enough is enough. I have earned the money, I have enjoyed this, and I have performed all the duties that was given to me or accepted by me, all. Now I should try to go back to my source. That is called brahmacharya, garastha, vanaprastha. In the vanaprastha, it is the preparation time to go back to the source. And the sannyasi is that moment when one enjoy that source. So, sadharma must be performed.
So the next question is P.R.L. Chakraborty, how do I become unattached?
See, it is the practice. So, that is called, the first you have to analyze. Is this going to be permanent with me? No, nothing is going to be permanent. So naturally, when things are not going to be permanent, why should I be unnecessarily bind myself with that? This vichara, this analysis will slowly give you the feeling of unattachment, detachment. And this is the practice, daily practice. The time will come, all around you, people will be there, things will be there, but at the same time, you are not bound. You are just enjoying, but completely free, no bondage. Like this. So thank you, friends. Let us say Shanti for 3 times and then we conclude. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Om, peace, peace, peace unto all.